Hello and welcome to Cheshire Audio. Now, what I should be doing in this video is talking about the Bristol Hi-Fi show, because apparently it was really busy, busier than it's been for a long time, which is good because you sort of worry about this industry that it might be in its declining years, but really no, it was so busy there. Obviously I wasn't there. If you've seen my previous videos on this, I completely messed up this year and double booked myself for that weekend, so I was in a completely different place. So I couldn't actually get along to it. Which is a shame because there's some really good things been launched, interesting things from Riga and Exposure and Neat and a few others. What I'll do is I'll do another video on that. There's a few things that I've been, I'm quite pleased actually. I've had a few customers telling me about things. Customers have been down, people who watch the YouTube side have gone down and told me about things, and a few manufacturers have been on as well. So yeah, there's quite a few things to talk about. But what I want to talk about in this video, and I've been promising this one for a while, if I was going to do a sort of product of the year type video, which I may or may not do in the future, I don't know, like a top 10 favourite products or something, which would be quite interesting to put together, to be fair. Without much thought, my favourite product of 2022 was the Audite Brij isolation platform. And what I want to do, like I say, is I want to re-review it, because when I actually saw the Brij middle of last year, or early last year I suppose it was, thinking about it, the sample I had was like a pre-production prototype, and I did a Tweekery video on isolation and showed the prototype and how it worked. Sonically it was absolutely amazing. I mean, it was way better than I expected it to be as well, really, because looking at it I thought, well, this is really clever, this is going to work really well. But it was so much better even than I thought it was going to be. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on which way you look at it, when the finalised version was produced, I ordered one in, it came into the shop, I talked about it to a customer, he said, can I borrow it? It went out again, it didn't come back, he bought it. I ordered another one in, it came in, I talked about it to a customer, he said, oh, I'd like to try that. He tried it, it went out, it didn't come back in, he bought it. So it's taken a while for me to actually have my own version of it sat on a shelf that I can show people. So that's what I'm going to do today. What I want to do is just do a bit of a walk around the finalised version of it. And also Andrew's got some new products as well. So I've not got them physically here, I've got pictures of. There's a few things that are going to be launched later this year, which will look really interesting. He's one of these people. His mind's full of ideas and he's whatever. So I'll talk about those as well. So yeah, I'll turn the camera around. Let's have a look at the Brij. Right. So this is my demonstrator at last. I mean, they sell these in black or white. I've not done any white, to be honest. It's all been black, but the prototype I had was white, and I must admit, I thought it looked really good. But I think what it is, I think people want something a bit more anonymous looking. The black sort of merges into the background a bit more. To be honest, looking through the sort of camera viewfinder here, it looks a lot bigger through the lens here than it does in reality. It's only sort of the same width-ish as a standard size CD player or a record player. I think it's like a P3 would pretty much entirely cover it. I think it's almost exactly the same dimensions, to be fair. You notice the top there, there's this very dominant sort of cross feature on the top here. I mean, your feet will sit in the corners there, and then it's quite deeply routed out to sort of break up the surface resonances, and also to isolate these screws here, which I'll talk about in a second. Actually, that's quite important that they're isolated from the main structure. Underneath, this is where you see the biggest difference between the production version and the prototype. It's very pared back underneath now. The original prototype that I had, the top board and the bottom board were the same size, so it looked like two large shelf units sort of sitting on top of each other. You don't really notice all this unless you get right low down now. You can see it's made of 3 levels. Top level and bottom level are actually attached to each other with the screws that I showed, that's the reason that needs to be sort of as isolated as possible. I mean, obviously it needs to be rigid, but there's a certain element of isolation going on, so that's good. This piece in the middle is actually what you would sort of describe as the main stand for it. And what's going on here is this part here is attached by 4 very fine pieces of thread, which are very high tensile strength. So it's actually hanging from the threads. and then obviously this is attached to that. So the whole thing, if you can see that, has a lot of side-to-side movement. So that's the principle of how it works. And actually, if we move back, and if I have a sort of look at the table it's sat on, you'll notice it actually will fit. You could actually have multiple bridges here. There's easily space within a standard hi-fi rack to put sort of multiple levels. So you could have your echo player on the top, amplifier, whatever underneath, all isolated separately from the table. I mean, even if you've got a really good table, to be honest, it still will give you a benefit. Or if you've got some old, dodgy bit of furniture that you're using, it'll really help. This version is called the Brij Nedan 2. There is still a model called the Brij, which was much wider and wouldn't have fitted within all this. It was I think the first product he made really, which used this principle, but it was a much wider unit really. I think that's still in production. I think there are some applications for that, but the Nedan 2 is much more user friendly really, because like I say, you can fit it within all the tables and things like that. What I'm just going to do, I'm just going to move a Riga Planer 3 across and put that on, just to show you the sort of dimensions of it. Change your mind, put a Planer 1 on, just so you can see actually how little overlap there is really. The platform is slightly bigger than the deck, so it doesn't really draw attention to itself. It sort of just sits under there doing its job. Yeah, I mean, sound quality wise, it is all positives. I've not come across anything that I put onto an Audite Brij that has been degraded in any way. It's all better dynamics, more clarity, more space around instruments, all the stuff you would want really. So if you like the sound of your system, using a Brij isn't going to take anything away from that. All it's going to do is give you more of what you like about it really. So it's really good in that respect. Record players, probably in some ways the biggest differences you get with record players. CD players are actually quite impressive as well. I mean, the first time I tried one was with an Atoll CD100, and it was such a noticeable difference straight away. I didn't even have to sort of do backwards and forwards, sort of, oh, that's better. And amplifiers and all sort of, all your sort of peripheral bits as well, it does make a big difference. So if you want to try one out, just come by the shop and you can borrow this one. They are on the website. There's no picture on them. I don't need to put a picture on. But yeah, it's available on the website. Don't buy one from somebody else and then come and tell me how good it is. I've got a few people doing that. I don't know. One chap actually came in the shop to tell me how good it was. He bought one from somewhere else. But anyway, what I want to show you now actually is that I've got to do it on the computer because there's some new products coming, and Andrew sent me some pictures, and yeah, quite interesting stuff. So let's just have a look at the computer. So Andrew sent me a CAD drawing of two of the new products that are coming. They're both isolation platforms that sit below the Brij Nedan. The first one, it's like a single piece platform made of some quite clever materials. There's quite a lot going on material wise with this. And he's designed a new type of foot, which is two types of rubber sort of combination, which apparently is very, very dead. And these were actually supposed to be out already, but it's the actual production of the feet is holding things up a little bit. First one is called, your guess is as good as mine on that, Oyata. Make it easy, Andrew. Possibly Oyata, but yeah, this will be the starter in the range. And if I can actually do this without losing, I'll just do a little pause while I just change to the next picture. And the next new product is called the Duo Neva, which will sit between the Brij Nedan and the previous one, which we've already forgotten the name of. This is a bit more complex. There's like two levels to this, and again the feet is it dark matter feet he calls this, which sound interesting on their own actually. Whether they'll produce that as a separate entity, I don't know, but they all sort of use this foot material. So apparently he's had some really good results with these. So I'm quite excited to get hold of these and see what they're like. But there's been slight delays because of the feet, like I say. So hopefully soon we'll have some of these in prototype wise and be able to do reviews on them. So let's leave it there. I think we've covered everything. So I'll just turn the camera around. Okay, so that's it. That's the Brij Nedan 2. Don't forget, if you want to try one of these, just bob in the shop. Give me a call, bob in the shop. You can take one home, try it out. So hopefully we'll have the new products along soon. Hope you like this one. Don't forget to give a like and a subscribe. The subscription side is going bonkers at the moment and I still don't get it. But thanks very much everybody who's subscribed to the channel. So many thanks for that, because I really appreciate it. And it helps me get through the day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a future video.